In the last 24 hours, you've no doubt been bombarded by messages from various organizations encouraging you to open up your checkbooks and give generously to a multitude of very worthy causes. Perhaps some of you have committed your finances to some of these organizations, and that is wonderful. Monetary donations are extremely important to the success of nonprofits and their missions. However, I'd like to offer some thoughts on this event we call Giving Tuesday. Just for a moment, I'd like you to consider a different way of giving. Instead of just donating something from your pocket, what about giving some of your time and your energy instead? Not a new idea, I know, but hear me out. Here's why I think you should at least think about it. Our society, in many ways, is desperately seeking community and human connection with our fellow man. You might be desperate for it too, and perhaps not even aware. Oftentimes in stress, we retreat from others when perhaps what we actually need is deeper and more meaningful connection. In fact, one could argue that many of the problems in our society are increasing proportionally with how disconnected we've become with each other. And sadly, writing a check and walking away from a problem is often just another way that we've disconnected from our community. I mean, just think for a moment about our nightly routine. I'm betting for most of us, it revolves around food while watching our favorite show or scrolling on our phones until bedtime. We've substituted meaningful shared experiences for constant stimulation, entertainment, and mindless scrolling. I suffer from this too, and for better or worse, it's a part of our culture now. Fortunately, there are actually some simple ways to remedy this cultural malaise that has become so normative for us. We must intentionally seek out ways to develop relationships. And one of the best ways to do that can be found when you engage in helping your own community. This can seem scary at first, especially to our more introverted friends. However, the reward for living this way far outweighs the risk of involvement. So the question then is, how can we connect in meaningful ways that matter to our society? How can we foster shared experience? Well, first off, the easiest solution may be to simply connect with those organizations that you've already given money to and see if there are areas where they need volunteers. It can be so easy. You just show up, and the rest usually takes care of itself. The benefits gained from helping your community through volunteer work can be life-changing, both for you and those you'll be helping. And secondly, is an idea that I really believe is a routine that we've overlooked in our society. And quite honestly, it's not very popular these days. And that's to plug into a church or a body of faith. Maybe you've drifted away from your faith community and haven't been in a while, or you've never been a part of one and don't really believe in any of that religious stuff. But either way, I want to suggest that you give it some thought. It could very well be the spark that you and this world needs. Of course, I'm a little biased, but only because I've seen people find real, deep, life-changing connection through shared faith with others. If you can find a church that is seeking spiritual discipleship and is servant-hearted towards their community, you will be fulfilled in ways that you can't even imagine. Don't get me wrong. What I'm suggesting isn't as easy as sending a check. And I also don't want to diminish the good work that is done through simple donations. But I do want to stress that if you're willing to carve out just a little bit of time, sometimes an hour a week, you can dramatically increase your impact on the world, and you can develop rich relationships while doing so. And also your character, your spiritual life, and your relationships will all benefit from this. And at that point, I doubt you could even measure the ongoing impact you'd have in your community. And finally, I humbly request that you consider Raintree Christian Church as a place where you can find all of this. At Raintree, we're pursuing Christ and his kingdom work, which we believe helps restore the world. We want to daily become more and more like him and to share his all-encompassing grace and love with anyone and everyone, a place where anyone and everyone belongs. And if this sounds intriguing to you, we meet every Sunday at 10 a.m., and we would love to meet you.